3 FAFSA mistakes to avoid when filling out the new FAFSA. Hey everyone, I'm Tina Steele, the FAFSA Guru, and if you like what I have to say, be sure to subscribe to my channel by clicking the link below. There's been lots of changes to the 24-25 FAFSA, and with that comes a lot of confusion and a lot of mistakes. So I want to talk to you about 3 of the more common mistakes that I've been seeing lately. The first mistake is related to inviting a parent contributor to the FAFSA form. When the student logs in and completes their section of the FAFSA, they are going to be prompted to invite a parent contributor to the FAFSA form. And when they get to that section, there's 2 different columns for 2 parents. And that can be a little bit misleading. And a lot of times what's happening is the student is putting both their parents in those columns. However, if the student's parents are married and they filed a joint tax return, then the student only needs to invite 1 parent contributor. And there is a little note in that section that indicates that, but a lot of people are missing it. So again, if the student's parents are married and file a joint tax return, then the student only needs to invite 1 parent contributor to the FAFSA. That parent will get an invite via email, then log in with their FSA ID, and then that is when the parent will add information about their spouse or the other child's parent. If the student has a situation where their parents are living in the same household, but they did not file a joint tax return, that is when the student would invite both parents as a contributor. So they would put both mom and dad in there so that each of them gets their own invitation to join the FAFSA and put in their separate information from each of their tax forms. So again, if parents are married and file a joint tax return, only 1 parent contributor needs to be invited to fill out the FAFSA form. Mistake number 2 I see is related to reporting the value of 529 plans. So a 529 plan is considered a parent asset when it comes to the FAFSA form. So it should always be reported under the parent investment section and not the student section. A big change with the 24-25 FAFSA is that you only have to report the value of the 529 plan for the child whose FAFSA you're filling out. Whereas in the past, you had to report the value of all 529 plans owned for all of your children. So make sure when you're filling out the FAFSA that you only report the value of the 529 plan for the child whose FAFSA you're filling out, and that you report it underneath the parent section as an investment and not the student section. And then mistake number 3 is when it comes to signing and submitting the FAFSA. It's a little bit more confusing this time around. And when the parent logs in as a parent contributor, they need to make sure they navigate through their whole section, and then they click a checkbox at the end where they will sign it and submit it. Sometimes what you'll notice when you do that is a little pop-up box that will say the student still needs to sign their section of the FAFSA form. It's really important that before you submit that FAFSA, the student logs back into the student section with their FSA ID and actually signs their portion of the FAFSA. Otherwise, when you submit it, it will be submitted without a student's signature and will cause delays. So just make sure that both the student is signing their section and that you, the parent, are signing your section. There should be 2 separate signatures. And then at the end of filling out both sections, you would want to hit submit, and then it will be submitted successfully with both signatures and there won't be any delays or anything. So those are just 3 of the more common mistakes that I've been seeing lately that I wanted to share with all of you. And if you are the parent of a high school junior, I wanted to let you know that enrollment is open for my FAFSA and Financial Aid Academy for parents of the class of 2025. My academy starts in September of this year, and I run it every single year for parents of high school seniors along with their seniors to help them navigate the overwhelming financial aid process and maximize their financial aid offers. There's 3 different levels of service to choose from depending on how closely you want to work with me. And 2 of those levels include access to a private Facebook group where you can ask unlimited questions, and I host live weekly Q&A sessions. And then the highest level of service also includes about 1 hour and 45 minutes of Zoom consultation time directly with me. So Earlybird discounts are available now for a little while, where you can save a significant amount of money by signing up early. So I encourage you to do that. I also offer consultations for anything financial aid related, one of the most common ones being a 30-minute strategy call to help families better understand how the financial aid process works and what their financial aid offers might look like based on their income and asset information. And then lastly, I offer a free initial 10-minute consultation call for anybody that I've never worked with before. This is a great opportunity for you to learn more about the services and programs that I provide and see what might be a good fit for you, or to just ask your general financial aid questions. You can learn more at my website, thefafsaguru.com. Thanks so much for watching.